Alright, what's going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with a quick little live stream. I know it's super late for when I usually do live streams. I know on this channel we usually try to do them between the hours of 5 p.m. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, we'd love to add you to our awesome community of like-minded individuals, so definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. We've got over 440 of us now and about 40 of us in our Discord group chat. That is one of the first things in the description box, so definitely check that out while you're hitting that subscribe button. And also go ahead and hit that bell icon. I know we have a few people that are wondering in Discord, like if there's a certain link and whatnot whenever I go live and whatnot. The easiest way is just hit that bell icon too. So if you're going to subscribe, definitely make sure to hit that as well. Good evening, good night, Josh. How is it going? What time is it where you're at, by the way? I know you're in Washington. I'm trying to figure out if you're 2 time zones behind me or just 1 on the West Coast. I think you're 2, if I remember right. It's like 7:30 there right now. But, so by the title of the video, I have some life-changing news. So, I found out today, or not today, I'm tripping, yesterday, I am going to be a father. Yeah. Pretty crazy news, in all honesty. I was not expecting it at all. I mean, you do it and you don't think about it, but yeah, I'm gonna be a father. So how does that exactly change how I'm gonna do things? Still figuring it out, to be honest, but that's what I'm going to talk about more in this video. It's just like, how do you go about dealing with the unexpected? I mean, like, it's different for every type of scenario. Like, say you have a natural disaster that come up. Thanks a lot, everybody. But natural disaster, something happens in your family, be it a pregnancy or someone has some illness or something that you didn't see coming, just something in general. I'm not comparing a pregnancy to the natural disaster or anything at all, but you know what I'm saying, just an unexpected event that you know could happen, but that you don't really think about every day whenever you're thinking about your goals, everything like that. How do you just go about handling the situation exactly? And that's what I'm going to talk about here. So, like, you guys know that I have been on this massive debt journey for a while now, about a year, right? And I mean, I'm still going to go ahead and finish that out. I'm literally paying off all my debt this week, so that'll be awesome. I'll be completely debt-free. My girlfriend, she's on the same track. Like, she's about to be out of debt here before long. All she has left is her car note that's left, so that'll be paid off. But like I said, for every example, I mean, you could do a different example for each situation, but like for my specific case, for example, we're going to essentially just be piling up cash here the next however long we have. We haven't figured out exactly how far along she is. It sounds like maybe 1 to 2 months. So like the next 6, 7, however many months, 6, 5, 7, however many months, we're going to pretty much load up cash. And does this mean I'm not going to invest? Absolutely not. Because like I was explaining to her, doing the trading style that I'm going to be doing going forward, I'm not going to be having a bunch of this where I'm losing money anymore. You guys know, like for example, XOP is one that I've been talking about for a while. Again, I'm just showing you guys just an example based on what is going on with me right now. So like, I would do probably a short vertical spread. I'd probably still do this 3-day one just to try to, again, collect that quick profit. So like, you guys know I'm still pretty bearish on oil overall. And if I remember right, oil was down slightly today. Not a lot, but if I remember right, I don't have it pulled up in TD Ameritrade either. But I'm still pretty bearish on oil overall. And what do I always say? I like to stick around 10%, roughly like 10 to 15, somewhere around there. So you can see on this one, doesn't offer enough money for me. 76% chance profit, but doesn't offer enough money. So what I would consider doing in this case is going over to an iron condor. For 3 days, we know it's probably not going to go below $30 this week, $30.50, whatever, and I have a pretty good idea that it's not going to go above 34, right? So you can see, not quite the exact profit I'd be looking for, but for 3 days, I could probably handle it for this specific example. So, like I always say, we never get the exact point, but you can see that's still not really worth it. I'd probably mess with something like Apple or something instead. But point being, just with my overall trading style, I'm not going to be forcing anything. I'm not going to be doing anything high risk, especially now for the upcoming, like I said, 6, 8, however many months we have. And that's kind of what I was wanting to hit on, like just in this video. I mean, I'm going over a lot in a short amount of time. Again, thank you guys for the congrats and whatnot. Really appreciate it for sure. And I definitely appreciate all of your all support throughout the way. But, so like Apple, for example, let me slow down. So like with the trading and whatnot, like will I ever suggest you guys like do exactly what I do? Absolutely not. I'm just saying you have to think about, obviously, like I said, every situation is different. Obviously there's a huge difference between having a kid and a natural disaster, or having a kid and your wife or someone really, really close to you that like your all's money's jointed or whatever, getting really sick, having cancer, something of that sort. So obviously there's so many different things in the world that can happen, right? So I mean, to try to narrow everything down to just one size fits all would be unrealistic, right? But I'm saying for my specific example, I'm not going to quit trading. Obviously I'm just getting ready to get started here in the next week or so. Thank God, finally, I've been missing it too. But I'm gonna probably not quite invest so heavily into trading. Like I know I was mentioning $1,000 to $2,000 a month. I'm probably gonna back off that and lean more towards the 1,500 to 1,000, maybe more here and there depending on my income per month. You guys know my income fluctuates every month because of commissions and whatnot. I'll get to that again here in just a second, Clint. But what was I saying? Just I'm gonna be a lot more conservative, meaning instead of maybe shooting for those 10, 15, 20% possible per week gains, I'll be more likely to settle on 5%, 10%, because again, if you can just do a consistent 5% a week, aka 1% a day, again, I don't like thinking about it in terms of days, I like thinking in terms of weeks. If you can do a consistent 5% a week, just watch how your account's still going to mathematically explode. Just put it in a compound interest calculator and watch what happens with $1,000 compounded 5% every week for 52 weeks. It'll blow your mind. Just $1,000. If you don't have a compound interest calculator, you can search them on Google. I think they have some in the Apple App Store as well and all that, but if I remember right, a lot of them are just compounded by yearly, not by, you can't do it like bi-weekly or anything. But definitely check those calculators out for sure. But point being, I'm just going to be a lot more conservative with the trading that I'll do. A lot more conservative even what I've been kind of putting forward on this channel. You guys know I said anything above 70%. Now I'm probably going to be doing a lot. Like, it's probably nothing under 70% for sure, period, ever, end of story. And I'm probably going to lean more towards 75% on up. Why? Because 5% potential profit makes a night and day difference in a highly volatile market. And Clint, just like real quickly, because I know, like you say, you just missed it. Me and my girl, we are expecting a child here in the next 8 months or so. We haven't really found out too much yet, but yeah, we found out. I found out last night. She found out yesterday morning. She went to the doctor today to like confirm it with like the blood test, and they confirmed it. Care of for sure, like with all that. So yeah, that's the big news, and that's why I said like my plan is kind of shifting a little. I'm still going to be investing heavy, both within the stock market, both within my business. You guys know that I'm still like writing. I'm in the process of writing a couple of short books. I mean, I say books, but they're more like booklets. I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna be like trying to sell a book for like $20 or something like that at all. I mean, if anything, I might sell like a Kindle book version for 99 cents or $1.90, just something to just get information out there, because I know it's hard for a lot of people to go through, watch what will end up being hundreds of videos on YouTube, and I want people to be able to learn from my mistakes. So I'm just gonna give everyone just an option of that book, like people that are new, people that are here, whatever. Awesome news. Yeah, I know that's what everybody keeps telling me, and everyone that knows me close is like, oh man, you're not happy, are you? And I'm like, I mean, at first I was shocked. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You can ask my girlfriend. I was almost like, just like I couldn't breathe for a minute, cause like, I mean, I can't lie. Everything running through my mind was like, at first I was like, damn, I had all these goals, like I had a plan, and part of me at first thought that it was gonna wreck it all, But as I sat there and thought, I was like, if anything, this is probably a bigger blessing than I've still yet to realize, because now I know I'm not going to make any excuses. Like before in the mornings, for example, I'd wake up at 4:35 in the morning and kind of just be lazy and be like, oh, I don't feel like getting up, doing my morning routine, all that stuff. Or, oh, I don't really feel like doing a YouTube video. Just anything work related, I would never say half-assed, but there would be times where I would just kind of slack, if you know what I mean. Where now I'm like, look, I still have these high goals. I'm going to make it happen. Now I have a huge why behind it. It's not just for me. It's not just for me and my girlfriend. It's for, like, my future family. So now that, like, I have such a big why behind that, like, I even think once the kid, boy, girl, whatever, by the time the kid gets here, I think that's when I'll really just break through, and it's going to be awesome. Just like I said, I knew this next year there were going to be some awesome things going into 2019. A kid wasn't one of them, but I mean, whatever it takes, right? But just real quick, I just want to also, like I said, show you guys just a few examples of how you can trade still whenever you're in a crazy situation in life. Be it, like I said, obviously I'm not going to compare everything, try to narrow everything down as if everything is a one-size-fit-all. It just wouldn't be fair, right? But just how can you go about trading conservatively whenever life hits, so to speak? Because a lot of people are tempted to just pull whatever they have out, or say, pretty much make an excuse, use it as an excuse. I'm not saying it's a bad excuse. Obviously, if you're sick, your family's sick, a natural disaster has happened, of course you're going to be tight on money. But I'm going to show you guys just, again, a couple ways. There are going to be ways that I've already discussed before, but just how you can still manage to do super, super high probability trades with, again, not tons of money. You're not going to get huge results, but again, if you take $1,000, put it in a compound interest calculator, and compound it by 5% a week, every single week for 52 weeks, just tell me what that $1,000 would be. If somebody has, like, the time, like, on their phone or something, let us know for sure. I greatly appreciate that. I don't have a calculator for it, like, right now, pulled up. But, if anyone's feeling antsy, definitely do that. But, real quick, let me just get a quick drink. Oh, and by the way, like I said, the whole 500 subscriber giveaway is still on. If we manage to hit 500 subscribers before the end of the year, I'm going to send you a copy of, send somebody, I'm going to do a special stream and pick a person in the chat and send them Grant Cardone's Millionaire Booklet, Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It, and Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which by far, out of all three books, is the #1 book anyone should read, if you haven't already. So, with Apple right now, in all honesty, this one, if I recall, I would be wanting to do a short call vertical spread. Obviously, I'm overall long-term bullish still on Apple, at least for the next probably year, roughly. I mean, I still think Apple has some major issues internally. I think they have to come out with a really innovative idea, or else they're going to become a Nokia eventually, in all honesty. But for the next year at least, I'm probably still pretty bullish on Apple. It's obviously a very good dip buy opportunity right now. I saw early on in the market hours, like pre-market, it had dropped all the way down to 171. So it's nice to see that it bounced back to about 174 and didn't lose an awful lot. But short term, I am still bearish on Apple. So this right here is just a 3-day call. So do we really think in 3 days Apple is going to jump above $185? I don't. You can see neither does the whole little algorithm thing going on in Tastyworks. By the way, this is the Tastyworks platform for anybody that's like tuning in new and wondering what this platform is. It's Tastyworks. They also have a YouTube channel called Tasty Trade if you want to check them out. I'm not like affiliated with them really. I have an affiliate link technically, but the only way I like get a credit for that is if you guys like were to fund your account with $2,000 or something. I just put the link in the description box just so you can see how their commissions and everything are laid out. That way you can decide if you want to join them or not. But that link's also in the description box, I believe. So this one I'd probably even be willing to push it up to right around here. Maybe not quite to the 180 mark because you're jumping up to 21% at that point. I mean, there's a possibility just due to the premium factor that I might. You can see our potential for profit is 72%, which is still technically within my range. But this is, again, where we just kind of want to play with it You can see on the specific trade, you're going to collect around $19 off of 231. If we get our calculator pulled up here really quickly. So let's just round up here. $19 divided by, we'll just say 232. You're talking roughly, again, that's 8% profit in 3 days, guys. So, I mean, we divide that by our 3 days. You're talking almost 3% profit a day. Awesome profit. So, once I see that, what am I going to do? I'm going to say, okay, let me go ahead and edit this order. I'm going to go ahead and pull it down to the 182.50 strike. So, we see our profit went up, potential for profit went up to 80%, and our max profit right now is only at $8. We're probably only going to get it for $7, right? So, you'd see after that, we're only going to get $473 off of a $245 investment. So obviously that's not going to be very much, right? So I mean, let's just round up 5 divided by, we'll just say 245 in this case. And you can see that's 2% profit in 3 days though. So I mean, that's what you have to take into consideration is how many days you have out versus the profit. So 2% profit doesn't seem like a huge profit, right? But then again, you divide that by the fact that you only have 3 days on that position. You're talking, it's still only about 0.7% per day, but which obviously the goal is what, roughly 1%. So I mean, in this case, it's up to you at the end of the day. It just depends. Like, I'm not doing this trade. I haven't been following Apple super close or anything the past couple of days, especially the last day or so. Obviously, with the news I've had, I haven't really had the chance to really dive into charts the last 24, 48 hours. But in this case, in all honesty, I'd probably, to me, the risk versus reward factor of the fact that I still have a 72% chance on making, 8% in just 2 or 3 days on my money. The risk versus reward is there for me. And again, I wouldn't really necessarily take a huge size on this. Like, I'd probably, especially brand new getting in, I'd probably just take this one position, $230 position, collect my $19, $20 and move on. $1,000, 5%, amount comes out to around between $12,000 and $13,000. So your $1,000 turned into $12,000 to $13,000 in 52 weeks. Clint told us. Awesome stuff, Clint. Thanks for that. Appreciate you. But so I mean, that alone shows you right there. It's not about hitting those. I mean, is it awesome to have those 20%, 30% hits on the calls and puts, like on the daily or whatever, like doing those short-term day trades on SPY? Of course. I mean, you guys know once I go full on doing this, I mean, again, that's still the plan. The plan isn't changing. Like I said, if anything, it's making me work even harder to get towards it, like to achieve that goal, if that makes sense. But I mean, literally, you start out with $1,000. Don't even add anything to it, but just take that 5% a week, compound it every single week. Are you going to get 5% every single week? No. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Some weeks you're going to have 10. Some weeks you're going to have maybe -2. You had a bad week. Maybe even -5, -10 if you had a horrible week. But average the big gains versus medium, small losses, and unch weeks, all that stuff. If you average just up and down 5%, compound it every single week, you'll have between $12,000 and $13,000. That's just off of $1,000. You do not add a single dollar to the account other than your $1,000. So, I mean, in all honesty, if you really want to test the waters, I would honestly suggest you guys try to figure out a way. Obviously, I suggest like doing the paper trading stuff if you want to go that route first, especially if you're like totally brand new, you don't feel confident whatsoever. Definitely start out with paper trading. But like me, I've always had a background in this, so when I did paper trading, I never really took it too serious. I seen it kind of as a video game and just didn't really get into it much personally, wouldn't take it seriously. I don't know if it's because it's not my money or what, but for a lot of people that are brand new, don't feel confident in themselves necessarily, definitely do the paper trading first. But what I'm saying is if you really want to test the waters, get that account up to $1,000. Like, just get it to $1,000 and then set that target. It doesn't even have to be 5%. Shoot a target of like 3%, because I mean, like that Apple trade, that was only going to be 0.6, what was it, 0.6, it was like 0.6% profit a day. If you did that times 5 days, you're talking, boom, pretty much right on 3% in a week. And again, if you compounded that 3% every single week, I mean, you're not going to get 12, 13,000, but I'm sure I'll just guesstimate and say it'll get somewhere around 9 or 10. So I mean, just start out with a small goal. I'm not saying 5% is what everybody should goal be. That's what's going to be my goal starting out. If I can do 5% a week, every single week, on top of adding $500 to $1,000 a month into my account for the next 6 months, 7 months, and then once the kid gets here, hopefully I can keep doing that and then just keep adding more and more. I mean, the goal is still, like I said, I mean, I think within the next year, 2 years at the most, we're going to be doing the same full time. You guys know I just mentioned a little bit ago that I'm going to kind of back off how much I'm going to invest. Instead of doing 1 to 2,000, I'm probably going to do more like 500 to 1,000. What am I going to do with that other money? Well, I'm probably going to shove a little bit more into advertising, in all honesty. Advertising my videos and all that stuff. Finishing the books. All that good stuff. No, I'm not coming out with a course. To me, no one should come out with a course unless if they're like straight up know what they're doing, 100%. Like, you guys know Ricky Gutierrez is a guy that I watch a lot. I don't even have his course, but, like, he seems like a credible guy, really credible guy. So, like, I won't dog him for his. But, like, if someone like me, who hasn't even, like, had a successful track record yet, came out with a course, it would just be stupid, right? So, I mean, not even, like, on topic of discussion. The book, like I said, is just to I'm kind of just making logs of mistakes I've made, successes I've made, what works, what hasn't worked. And I'm going to, here in the next few months, like I said, this book's probably not going to come out until, I wanted to have it out by holiday season, but I was like, it wouldn't be right if I did. I'm going to wait until next year, let the book come out maybe in spring, or at the latest this time next year. That way it'll be a good product. $1 to $2 book at the most, Kindle book. But point being, money's going to go into that, advertising, and then emergency fund, big time. You guys know I'm not like huge on having necessarily a quote-unquote like big-time emergency fund, because obviously if cash just sits, what does it do? It loses value. I mean, we're in an inflationary environment now. Inflation's around, what, 2.5%, something like that right now. So, I mean, if your money's not making 2+% per year right now, your money's losing 2+% of its value. So, I'm not a huge fan of like having an emergency fund, but obviously, uncertain times, so to speak, like, you know something's coming up. I mean, at least this we can prepare for. It's not like a natural disaster. Like I said, it's not something that just blindsides us. I mean, we're blindsided by it, but at the same time, we still have 7-8 months roughly to get a good emergency fund built up, still be doing the trading and all that good stuff. So we're going to be, me and my girlfriend combined, we're probably going to be here in the next month or two starting to put about $1,000 to $2,000 a month towards an emergency fund. So then when the baby's here, we're gonna have roughly what, $10,000 to $15,000 in that saving account. It'll probably be like a money market account or something. I don't know yet. Something super safe that it might gain 1% a year at the max. But I'm not. It's just an emergency fund. It's insurance essentially. Insurance costs you money, right? So that's something to compare it to. Insurance. Insurance is an emergency fund. So. So no, by no means is this like throwing me off or anything like that. Like I said, if anything, it's making me work harder, trying to better myself even more day by day. That way I can become super successful, not just for me, but for my future family, and make sure that we will never, ever, ever have to have a financial worry, anything. Thanks a lot, Josh. I appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. I haven't checked the stream out yet, by the way. Looks like we got 4 of you tuning in. So it's already been 24 minutes, and I can't believe we have 4 of you tuning in this late. You all must live on the West Coast. West Coast people watching. But, we actually do have a good West Coast following, by the way. It's pretty surprising. But, so yeah, I mean, when it comes to just, like I said, the whole point of this video, obviously, was wanted to kind of just fill in everybody on what's been going on with my life, because obviously that's a pretty big life event, right? I think we'd all agree on that. But I was like, this might be a good opportunity to just do a video on like how should you go about maybe investing, saving like in an emergency fund type of deal, so to speak, when it comes to just unexpected events overall. I mean, I knew in the back of my mind we'd probably have a kid at some point here in the next couple years. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to be this soon, but I mean, again, it's just all about being able to adjust to everything that life throws at you. God does it all for a reason at the end of the day. If he didn't think you'd be able to handle it, he wouldn't put it in your life. That's how I see it. And that's why, like I said, I'm going to be doing these. I'm still going to be investing. I'm probably going to invest my first, sorry about that. I'm probably going to invest actually possibly as soon as, Friday, because I get paid every Friday, because I have about $400 to $500 left of debt. I'm about to make a solid $200 to $300 payment on it. So, I mean, I might even be able to deposit my first $100 to $200 this week, but either way, I probably won't use it until, it just depends what trades come up, in all honesty. Like, this trade, obviously, we would not quite be able to afford right now. Maybe something with XOP. Obviously, the prices will fluctuate and whatnot. It just depends on implied volatility, right? So, we'll see what happens. I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Of course, today's, Tuesday? So, we'll probably have another stream tomorrow, possibly. If not, I'm at least at the minimum going to have some videos uploaded for you guys. So, either way, you guys know that I try to stay as good as possible when it comes to, like, keeping you guys updated on what moves I'm making within my account, all that stuff. But yeah, here for sure within the next week and a half, if I don't invest anything this week, for sure next week I'm going to dump a big little lump sum of a couple $100 into there, probably somewhere around $200, $300. So then we'll really start getting this show on the road starting next week. But yeah, the goal is at the minimum, like I said, next week, if possible, maybe a couple $100 as early as this Friday. That would be awesome, because then we'd have a bunch of stuff to talk about going into next week with the Sunday stock watch and everything. So just a quick little outlook for the rest of the week. Like I said, I'm probably going to do at least 1 or 2 more live streams this week. Probably 1 live stream and then have a video or 2 go up this week. And then, of course, we'll have the Sunday stock watch. Like I mentioned last week, we didn't have the Sunday stock watch this week because I was driving home. Worst drive ever. Me and my girl, we sat there and said, this is the last time we are ever driving. If we can't afford to fly, we don't need to go. That's just how we're looking at it for now on. Because what should have been an 8.5-hour car ride ended up taking almost 11 hours. So, never again. But yeah, that's why we didn't have a Sunday stock watch. If you guys, those of you that did not hear that, we will have one this week. Probably again, like I mentioned, Discord. We'll have that around 3 p.m. Central Time, I believe is what I said. So, yeah, awesome stuff. Thanks again for everybody that tuned in. Thanks for all of the congratulations and nice words. And thank you, Clint, for helping us out on that math. I mean, that if that math doesn't get you excited. And by the way, Clint, if you're still watching, I'll give you like a minute to answer. Where did you find the calculator exactly for this, by the way? Because I'll probably end up doing a video about just compounding interest and whatnot, and just breaking down what certain people's accounts are at versus where it can be if you just trade consistently over and over and over. I don't know if Clint's still watching or not. We got 4 of you still. Yeah, 4 of you still. Either way, if he's not, I'll be sure to look one up for sure. But that's a good video idea, actually. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to make this like stream too long or anything. I'm sure my girl's already in there sleeping and whatnot. And I can't lie, I'm pretty tired myself. I've been up since about 4 this morning and just couldn't really sleep well last night. So I'm going to try to get a little bit of sleep tonight myself. Luckily, tomorrow's a pretty light day at work for me, hopefully. But like I said, thanks again for everybody tuning in, all the congratulations and nice words and all that. Definitely appreciate you guys so much. Like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't even have a reason to do all of this YouTube stuff at the end of the day. And like I said, if you're new to the channel and you watched all this, you're awesome as well. And we'd love to have you and have you join our awesome community of like-minded individuals. So definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below. And even more importantly in that, check out our Discord group chat. There's about 40 of us in there now. I think like 38 to be exact. And growing by the day. I know this last week we've added like 4 or 5, something like that, members here in just the last week. seems like almost every day or so now we're adding a person here and there. So it's awesome stuff to communicate with a bunch of like-minded individuals. But other than that, like I said, Tasty Works, there's a link in the description box for that as well. If you haven't checked them out, definitely start checking them out. Tasty Trade is their YouTube channel if you want to check them out as well. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. Hopefully you guys have a good night. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. Go find your why. If you can find your why, you'll be able to run through a brick wall. But until next time, take it easy, guys.